Warning. Censorship. Warning. Censorship.
Police ordered to pay $10,000 for prosecuting one of their own. March 2, 2021, 5:58 a.m. The officer was charged with assaulting his partner and unlawfully possessing a semi-automatic firearm, but both charged were dismissed. Rob Kid. Police have been ordered to pay one of their own nearly $10,000 after their prosecution of his alleged domestic violence showed clear negligence. Judge Kevin Phillips, who made the costs order, said police had been blinkered in their approach to the case, and expressed concern investigators ignored the advice of senior staff to pull the charges. The defendant, who has permanent name suppression, was stood down from his work and had his promotion withdrawn. He had his bail opposed when he first appeared in the Dunedin District Court and only had it granted on the condition he live in the sleepout of a police colleague. As a relatively senior officer, he was, in my opinion, treated in a manner that could only be described as different from the way in which the average person would have been dealt with on such allegations, the judge said in a recent written decision. The senior officer was stood down from his work and had his promotion withdrawn. The man was charged with assaulting his partner and unlawfully possessing a semi-automatic firearm following a police call-out in the early hours of December 21, 2019, both of which were ultimately dismissed. Phillips raised concerns about the case proceeding to judge-alone trial at its outset in August last year, but police stood by their decision to continue with the prosecution. The complainant, the officer's wife, called emergency services claiming the defendant had returned home intoxicated and had struck her in the face. She claimed to have felt unsafe but later admitted following the man around as he prepared to go to bed, at one stage using a key to access a sleepout to continue their argument. When police arrived, the woman admitted she had consumed a bottle of wine through the evening and police were aware she was an alcoholic. They were also aware that the defendant had recorded much of the incident on his cell phone. Judge Phillips said it painted a clear picture of the dynamics. The person who was clearly the aggressor during the incident was the complainant. She was making repeated comments about the defendant relating to his sexual background in an offensive way, and the defendant did not respond aggressively, physically, or anything to this provocation. He appeared to be acting in a most controlled way, Judge Phillips said. The investigating officers had access to the man's phone but appeared to have disregarded the footage, the judge said. Counsel Ann Stevens QC said there were clear issues with the complainant's reliability from the outset, not least because she expressed a desire to withdraw her complaint within hours of the incident. The woman messaged the officer in charge of the case, "Thanks for calling last night's call out. I'm fine. I wasn't assaulted by the defendant, it was me who hit him. I'll call into the station later to make an official statement." After consulting a lawyer, she opted not to change her statement, but Judge Phillips said it had to raise red flags with the police. A senior officer from outside Dunedin advised colleagues not to continue the prosecution, and the judge said it was particularly concerning that his expressed advice had been ignored. It was not a reasonable and proper investigation, but one that was entirely blinkered in its approach. In my view, the investigation was conducted in an entirely subjective manner and lacked any objectivity, Judge Phillips said. He described the situation as an example of clear negligence by the police prosecution investigation team. The judge made a costs order of $9,740 in favor of the defendant, who was still employed by police. A spokeswoman said police were unable to comment.
I look forward to catching up with you next time. All the best.